know, the market in 2017 been extremely challenging, to say the least. We were just actually going through median rentals on our rent roll from an income perspective last week, and I think it was around about 18% drop off. Which what that indicates for our marketplace is that median rentals have across the board on average dropped off 18%. Some areas we've seen bigger than that, haven't we, Carolyn? I've seen almost 30% in some areas. You were just talking to a gentleman today with regard to having to adjust his rental expectations, and I think if you look back on those, I don't know where was he at in the market before.
He was getting 420.
420, and now we're looking below 300.
350.
Oh, 350. Okay,
Yeah,
well that's pretty good, because I know I was getting 950 on mine. Now I'm getting 600. So that's about 33%. So that's quite a significant drop off. So different areas have had bigger drop offs. One of the challenges with that is obviously supplying you guys with the information. We have put in place systems whereby we do comparative market analysis whenever we actually have a vacate on a property and we've got a new tenant coming in, so that you guys can see where the market is dictating, and it has significantly changed. That's a challenge you're always talking to our owners about, and I know Ilyse you've done a fair bit of that recently as well. It's realism in the marketplace has been key. The reason behind that, our current vacancy rate sitting at
5.7%.
Market is around about
6.9.
6.9. So we've got a pretty good vacancy rate in comparison to the market. But for the 7-8 years prior to this, or 7 years prior to this period in the marketplace, what we've had is we've had what I call virtual zero. We were down to 2%, 1.5%, and really what that is that's just tenants changing over. And most of those properties remain income producing or are non-income producing for a couple of days. We're not in that market anymore, and that vacancy is that vacancy rate is contributed by the lack of demand for tenants. We've got less tenants coming in through the front door looking for property, and that puts downward pressure on prices because of the motivation for the owners to have an income, and that's what's happened in our marketplace. Not something we can change without potentially a big boom in the market, which could be a new project coming up. Anybody know of any of those? No. At the end of the day, we don't know of anything out there right now that is concrete in regard to going to inject a huge amount of population into our market. This also presents for us the expansion of our rent roll has meant that we employ more staff in property management. How many are we employing property managers at the moment? We've got 12, and then we've got caretaker property managers, assistant property managers, as well as also leasing clerks. All these people need to be licensed, and so what we've got is we've got around about 20 people employed in our business that are licensed property managers, not including Carolyn and Ilyse. Now, we would be the largest employer of licensed property managers in the Northern Territory.